All right. Welcome to another edition of Sabbath Lounge. This is Matt.
And Jake here.
And Jake, what are we doing today?
Today this is going to be the Torah Portions. We're going to continue on with that. This is week 19, Exodus 25 through 27:19, and it is called Terumah, or Heave Offerings.
Heave. All right, so let's take a look. And as we go into week 19, apparently I've gone too far. So let me go. Oh, what is happening?
All right, there, we're there.
Okay. So the ark. So what ark are we talking about here? So maybe we need to talk about that.
Yeah, so in this section, we go into a lot of building the tabernacle and the furniture for the tabernacle. So this is talking about the Ark of the Covenant.
That's right. And so the ark is like our heart. And he wants us to be built from the inside out in this concept of out of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yeah, and it's kind of ties into the, you'll be held accountable for even, every word that comes out of your mouth, because that's what your heart's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
which is kind of frightening.
Yes, it is. This whole wants us to be built from the inside out. So when he talks about how to build the ark, he starts with the inside, and then he covers it and makes decoration out of it also. So it has that inside out quality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even the description of it, yeah. So we got to talk about the wood. Why is acacia or shittim chosen? Why is this wood chosen?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons. One being it's a hardwood, and if you look at look at a picture of an acacia tree, it's very thorny. And if you've listened to us in the past, you've heard us make the comparison of thorns being equated to sin, and it's this idea of that our hearts are hard and our hearts are sinful, and that's our innermost being. And then inside of this ark is going to be this hard, thorny wood, and I think that's why it's chosen.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've also heard people talk about this as cedar is a cedar wood, and cedar's soft and malleable and pliable, and I think we want to be more like the cedar wood, but in reality we are more like this acacia wood, hard and thorny.
Yeah,
which are not good characteristics when Yahuwah wants to write his things on our heart. It's hard to write on hard, thorny things.
Yeah.
I've never tried it too much, but I could imagine it would be difficult.
Probably.
So, and we know it is.
Yes.
So we're built from the inside out. Our Father uses the physical to reflect the spiritual. Worry about the heart first. What do you think all that what does that mean?
So, like we were talking about before, the ark, when he's talking about how to make it, he starts from the inside. He builds the inside first and then covers it. And just like us, he wants our inside to be sculpted first, because if that's right, then the physical will follow it. The outer will follow the inner.
And doesn't it make sense with the scriptures? Man looks at the outside, and Yahuwah looks at the inside. Yeah. Looks at the inside of the heart.
Right. And that goes along with a lot of people don't realize that in the Old Testament it talks a lot about circumcision of the heart, and that being what he's most interested in. A lot of people think that's a New Testament, concept, but it always was what he was interested in.
Yeah. Very good. So then you also see this concept of vellum. What is vellum? So vellum is soft, usually made out of an animal skin. It's soft and pliable. Our hearts should be like this. This is the goal.
Right. Yeah, it starts off hard, and just like them in the wilderness, he talks about how hard-hearted they are. And then the idea is once you humble yourself or are humbled, you realize, maybe I should not be such a stiff-necked people, a hard-hearted person.
Because this carving process is painful.
Yes.
Because he's going to carve on our hearts. And that's why I chose that image. He's going to help us cut out the bad stuff if we are willing to let him do it. We can also go, no, I don't want to do that. And he goes, okay, well, you don't want it, then we're not going to work on that.
Right.
So, just lots of good concepts there with thinking about being soft and moldable and much easier to be soft and moldable than to be hard and stiff and be chiseled into.
Right.
That one seems to like it would be much more painful, maybe a harder lesson to learn. But moving on, it's not what goes into the mouth that makes you unclean, but the words that come out of your mouth.
Right. And so you're taking this from when Yeshua was talking to the Pharisees, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because out of your mouth, right, out of your heart, your mouth speaks, right?
Yep.
Now, just for clarification, what he's discussing with the Pharisees here is a situation where they're not, Yeshua and his disciples aren't washing the cups they're drinking out of. And they're like,
or washing them the Pharisee way.
Right.
The procedural way.
Right.
Where you wash it, you go 3 times this way and 3 times, I don't know what it was, but it was something like that. There was a procedural method in the thing you were supposed to do.
Right. Which was not according to Torah, that was according to their tradition. And so that's what he's talking against here. It's not talking about eating unclean food.
No. For sure. That's a good point. So the tabernacle, the tabernacle is us. And so if you've never thought about that, think about it, because
that's what it is.
Yeah. Temporary, it's movable, and indwelling of the Spirit.
Right.
You see it all right here. And the gold inside the tabernacle can be Yahuwah or God represented, and Yeshua is the bread. He's the bread of life. He's the Word, and the Spirit is often equated with oil.
Right.
And so, Jake, in the Holy of Holies, what do we have in there?
You got the light of the world.
What do we have in there? We've got a menorah, right, which would be the candlestick or the light.
Well, that's not in the Holy of Holies.
Oh, I guess
right?
that's not. That's in the.
That's in the inner. That's not the inner tent. That's the.
Mm-hmm.
When you first go in.
Yeah.
Right. So you have the menorah. That's the light of the world. That's. Then you have the bread of life that's in there. The fruit of the vine, which is the wine there.
There's like a cup,
right?
Or something.
And then you have the incense, which is, which is today it would be as our prayers going up to Him.
Mm-hmm.
It was then too, yeah.
Fragrant aroma.
Yeah.
So you've got all this interacting with the temporary, fleshly covered structure that has a covering of purity. What's the covering of purity?
So when you look at the ark, it's this hard, thorny wood, and it's covered in gold, right? Covered in pure gold. And that's when we get into the next few slides, I'll kind of talk to that, I guess.
Yeah. So this wood, you've got your heart, the hardness of the heart, the flesh, this human interaction, and the temporary tense. I think we kind of said that twice, but
it bears repeating.
Mm-hmm. So then inside the mercy seat, we see this term kaparoth. And when you break down the Hebrew, there's another reference to this, but you have a kaf, pei, resh, tav. And so you read the Hebrew from the right to left, and I don't have the graphic up there, but the kaf is the hand that covers the open mouth. The pei is the open mouth. The resh is the head of a prince, and the cross is the sign or seal or the tav. So what does all that mean? Well, it means that there's a cover on the mouth of the prince of the cross, and he's not saying something. What's he not saying?
I think it's obvious who the Prince of the Cross is, and what he isn't saying is he sees our sin, but he doesn't announce it to the Father. He covers our sin, and it's not like he doesn't go rat on us and stuff like that. It's just he's taking care of it, so there's no need to say it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like the gold that covers the hard heart, the hard wooden thing, and and that we just talked about, and the gold covers it. He covers it.
Right. It's this covers the sin that you have written here. It's Yeshua's representative of the gold on the ark is representative of Yeshua covering our sins, so that when Yahweh looks at us, all he sees is the gold. He doesn't see the sin
okay,
in us.
Great point. And what would in pure gold? What would he see?
I think you're thinking silver.
Well, I think
see himself.
Yes, maybe so. But I think in pure gold you can do it too.
I'm not sure.
Somebody see if that's right. But I'm pretty sure in pure gold, you can see a reflection in it too. But I don't know. I thought you could. Maybe not. I haven't had a lot of pure gold.
You haven't had a bunch of polished pure gold.
Have not had many opportunities.
The size of your face.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of gold. So we have another teaching on this. It's called the parable of the 10 virgins ties into gold. How do we produce olive oil? And so it's a 3 part thing. I don't even know. But
we just went on and on.
We just went on and on. So that's a link to it there, and we recommend checking it out. And this is where we got the Mercy Seat teaching. It's from Rock Island Books. If you've never looked at their things, that's a great resource, a great place to go. And they break down a lot of Hebrew words, piece by piece.
Yeah, and here's that paleo with the hand over the mouth, the prince of the cross.
Yeah, read from right to left.
Right.
So I think that about wraps up week 19, Exodus 25 through 27:19. Jake, you got anything else?
No, just make sure you keep up on your readings and see if you see these concepts in there while you're reading through.
Yeah. And every time we learn something we didn't know before, and we hope that's true for you. And bottom line is, we don't claim to be experts or know everything there is to know. We're far from that, but we do want to try to help point you to going back to the source. Don't take our word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. And work out your own salvation with fear and trembling and examine these scriptures.
Yes.
So anything else, Jake?
Nope. I think that covers it.
All right. Well, that concludes week 19. And this is Matt and Jake signing off.
Signing out.